What we're going to do, there's lots of different ways you can develop fingerprints. I mean, there's different types of fingerprints. You got visible prints, like somebody got their fingers in grease and showed up, and that one they can just take a picture of. And impression fingerprints, which you have to use like special lighting techniques, but those are physical methods to get fingerprinting. What we want to look at is latent fingerprints, and latent means hidden. It's Latin for hidden, and your fingers have little droplets of oil and water, mostly sweat actually, but oil, amino acids, all sorts of different chemicals, sodium, carbon trioxide, lots of different chemicals that are left behind.
Leave a trace.
That's right. And so what we want to do is we want to put something on that to make it visible so we can take a picture of it and then they can scan it and things like that. Now what they normally use is, well, I tell you what, let's get started on this so we make sure we get it developed. I'm going to take your fingerprint.
Okay.
And I'm wearing gloves so that my fingerprints don't get it. That's right, I get to play, yes. So just, but let's do another one first. Your fingers are probably pretty dry because you guys are in the studio. Just kind of wipe behind your ear. There's a lot of oil and stuff like that.
There is. I didn't clean back there today.
And go ahead and just roll your finger on there. All right, now what's in here is iodine, and I'll explain that here in a minute, but I'm going to put a piece of tape on here so I can hang it down. And from the top here, sorry, a little bit of minutia to go. Need some music. All right, so we're going to put this in this chamber. Now, what the police are, in the old days, well, still to this day, they dust a lot, right? You know, because the dust will collect onto the oil, and then you can see it, and they can take a picture or do whatever they need to it. Well, what a chemical method that a lot of the police departments use now for investigators that are portable is they'll take these fume hoods and they'll use super glue, which is ethyl cyanoacrylate or a methyl cyanoacrylate.
Oh, sure.
But anyway, it's super glue, and it will form onto those droplets little white polymers, and it'll give a nice impression, and they can take a picture of it, or they may have to dust it and then take a picture of it.
Okay.
Well, it takes hours to do that. And I think it was on Beverly Hills Cop that a lot of people saw that he used super glue. And they do that. I'm using iodine because it's much faster.
What's in here in the
That's
bottom.
right. There's crystals of iodine in here, and the iodine does the same thing. It attaches itself onto the sweat droplets and things like that. And as it fumes up, and we'll put it here on the hot plate to make it go a little bit quicker, as it fumes up, it's going to attach, and it's already starting to form on there. If you can get a close shot. Oh, let me move that so it's out of the way. There we go.
I think I've got a lot of makeup on my finger, too.
Well, yeah, but I think you can see the brown. The brown. Well, no, it's supposed to be because that's the iodine.
Okay,
the iodine is actually brown color. If we get it, can you get any closer to that to see that it's actual fingerprint? Maybe not. Okay. But that's the way you can start to see it form. As it goes here a little bit longer, it's going to be even.
And then you can run this through a machine and check it against.
That's right. Well, you take a picture of it, and then you'd scan it, and then they would send it, and I'll do this later. I'll send this to the FBI. I'll send the results to Rob so he can check his desk.
Find out what crimes I've committed.
That's right. So this is, and they actually do this in the field. They'll take super glue, or, well, they don't use actual super glue anymore, but it's the same stuff.
And they still use iodine?
Some might, but for the most part, super glue is what they use.
Okay.
Iodine is kind of nasty to smell.
For us, so yeah. What are we going to be talking about in about 30 minutes?
Well, I'm going to show some chromatography. Now, chromatography is a method that's been around for a long time, and now they use sophisticated methods of chromatography. I won't be able to show that, but I'll show the basic principles of it. And we're going to separate ink, and I'll show you that we can tell the difference between two different pens based on the ink that they have. So if you wrote a ransom note, you know, and you could. That's right.
They could trace the pen back to you.
It's kind of a Sherlock Holmes.
It's a good thing in the newsroom we all share the same pens. So. Jesse Miller, thank you so much for being here, chemist professor at the U of I. We're going to put this on our website, IllinoisHomepage.net. Just click on the morning show in the Chemist Corner.